Hello viewers, welcome to my channel itechsolution. Next, today we will discuss Java programming tools and how the Java will uh, heavily popular today's day-to-day works. And the introduction part is I have collected from topics from Oracle Corporation, and where they have clearly elaborated these things, and just I will show this on in front of you and explain some extent as far as possible. So this is the Java programming tool, and where the programs where this uh, programs infrastructure is developed, and how this going to be work in our systems. And in practical I will do some practical in front of you, so that it will clear to you how the Java software is executing our programs. So this is the technology definition is our technology is both the programming language and as well as a platform. And that is the program can be designed by us, and this program will run independently in any machine, which is called platform independent, and hence the platform is also provided by Java and known as JVM, Java Virtual Machine. So the programming language is a higher level language, and that is they characterized some words. That is, the features is highlighted as simple, object-oriented, distributed, multi-threaded, dynamic, architectural, neutral, portable, high performance, robust, and secure technology. So next page shows these words have been developed and designed and explained by James Gosling, which is the developer of this Java technology, and Henry McLilton. So if you have any opportunities, please see this the Java language environment by James Gosling. In the Java programming languages, all the definition is here, that the source code is designed in text, plain text, in suppose in Notepad, and save as with .java extension. And those source files are then compiled by Java C compiler, and the class file is inherited by the compiler, and it contains code that is native to your processor, but it is not called a native assembly language. It is called Java code, bytecodes, and supplied to the JVM. The Java Launcher tool and of this JRE will run the actual program and hand it over to the operating system. So that is here the toolkit is JRE, JVM compiler, and Java compiler. And in simple JRE, then there will be JRE and JVM. JRE means Java runtime environment, and JVM is Java virtual machine, and compiler is a Java compiler, Java C. So here this is the collection of JDK, which I have already installed in this next previous videos. JDK has the opportunities to compile your program independently and produce output. So JDK is a software development environment for developing Java applications and applets. So it also includes JRD and interpreter, a compiler, and a jar file, that is Java archiver, and documentation generator, Java document files, and other tools needed in Java development. Next slide shows the process. The Java, actually the diagram shows the process. That is, I am in the Java C Java folder, where my file is prepared in a text file, notepad file with extension .java, and then I compile it with the command java c space that file name, suppose array.java, and it will compile the file, and then goes to the next dot class file generated, and suppose this file is generated, and I will run this only the part of file name. Then this run is executed by this program is java space the file part array. Here is the array of this file name part, and the file will output will be executed. So that is here the process shows this class file gives the output area to the JVM, and actual JVM will produce the output and hand it over to the operating system. So this is the technology where the process is doing by the JVM and API. So next is here virtual machine is available on many different OS, so that the output is actually the ready for JVM, which is already in the Windows or Sun OS or in the Linux. And in addition, there is a platform which is called Java Standard Edition of Hotspot, and it will give the some boost of, for the Java performances. Next slide shows the, yes, I have discussed these things, or from I have already told you that Oracle Corporation has designed these things. So just I am explaining it here. It is based on this example. Suppose this is a file I have created, then I first compile it, and it will compile the actual source file and dot class file generated, and the dot class file to produce the output, give it to the JVM, and JVM will produce the actual program interface, which is also called Java Programming API, application programming interface, and it will collaborate with the operating system. Suppose it has Windows, then Windows will show the output. Suppose Unix, then it will show the output. Mac OS, it will show the output. Next is the platform. What is the platform? Discussion is here. This is you read as per the platform means the we know hardware and software environment in which a program can run. So this is the platform already have, I have already mentioned the Windows or Linux and other OS already have the Java platform, and so it is easier to produce the output, and without going to the actual hardware interface of this operating system. That is written here. Most platform can be described as a combination of the operating system and underlying hardware, but the Java platform differs from most other platforms in that it is a software only platform that runs on top of other hardware based platform. That is it will not involve the actual hardware of the operating system. So this is called Java platform, and it is also known as Java virtual machine, and as well as Java application programming interface. It is again discussed here JVM. Here it is a definition of JVM, and here it is a definition of API. We know the API is a large collection of ready-made software component that provides many useful capabilities. It is grouped into libraries and classes as interfaces, and these libraries are known as packages, and on some practical it will be cleared what are the packages and which and how it will help us to develop a program. And at last, but not in the list, this is the actual face of this program. That is the hardware platform is based in downside, and in between the program and the actual hardware there is a Java platform which is known as JVM and API, Java application programming interface, and it is also discussed here in these lines. So see here, and thanks for showing this video, and I think it is a little bit help to you to understand the Java machine and how the Java program is producing output. Thank you, and let us see some videos next.